And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 3,000 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting. A 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and audio radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically. And in addition, we're running our newer number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. And also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog network to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now, with all that being said, let's open it up and see who's out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
Kilo Delta 9, Victor Victor, King David 9, Victoria Victoria. If you need me to turn the amplifier on, I will. I've got one here, but you're so strong, I'm assuming you're hearing me okay. Just running barefoot here, ICOM 7300 to a 6-band vertical. Over.
Roger. Well, I suggest that if you got a PA, I would go ahead and turn it on because we are running a kilowatt here, so that may be why you're hearing me so well, Roger.
That may be why you're hearing me so well, Roger.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I'll have to tune her up. Take me a minute or two. I usually leave it tuned in for 6 meters, but we can fire it up and we'll come back and see if it makes a difference, Jim. Okay?
Roger that, Roger that. Well, we'll tread water here for a moment. What's the name there?
We'll tread water here for a moment. What's the name there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Name is Pete. Papa Echo Tango Echo. Pete.
Roger, Pete. Make a note of that. Although I do not have the right pin. I've got 7 or 8 pins, and they're all in about the same condition, but there's one in that 7 or 8 that is remarkable. I haven't run across it yet, but I will sometime as I use them and realize that's not the right pin. But anyway, Pete's finding his PA and kind of peeking it up there for max smoke, or should I say maximum signal. We don't like to say smoke when we're tuning up a PA, because that could be very problematical. Sometimes that's a scary thing, particularly if somebody says boo in the background as you're trying to fire up your amp and get it tuned up. Those are very, shall we say, interesting times as you're tuning up a power amplifier. You know, it's recommended that you tune it up gradually, piece by piece, signal by, a little stronger signal and all that stuff. But I'm pretty much on 7188, so I'm pretty much pedal to the metal there when we start tuning up. And I have had some flashovers, which is not good, because once you have a flashover on a plate or a load condenser, variable condenser, it puts a deposit on there and kind of a peak on that plate at that point. And if you have, it encourages further arcovers, particularly at that point. So the idea is to not have flashovers where you have pits and hills on your plate and tune or load capacitors. Well, let's see how Pete's doing now. How about it, Pete?
Well, let's see how Pete's doing now. How about it, Pete?
He's still hard at work getting that PA amp up, and I do appreciate that. For folks that are thinking about checking in, if you do have a power amp, go ahead and get it set up, because we want the best foot forward when we're doing this, because we are recording it, and I'm sure that you will appreciate it when you're listening back to hear your signal as it's intended to be, not in a bunch of noise.
Intended to be, not in a bunch of noise.
Kilo Delta 9, Delta Sierra Tango.
Delta Sierra Tango, yes.
Delta Sierra Tango, yes.
Roger, did I hear you say that you're recording transmissions and then playing them back?
Not playing them back. We're recording them and then loading them up onto YouTube. And then, because that would be, a much better thing, Roger. So we record till 5 o'clock and then load them up to YouTube overnight, Roger.
Load them up to YouTube overnight, Roger.
Okay, what's your website?
It's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search. And today's recording will be up there. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3200, Roger?
It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3200, Roger?
Yeah, Roger. Hey, would you mind giving me your call sign one more time so I can write it down?
Roger, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, KC9VKV.
Kilo Victor, KC9VKV.
Okay, thank you very much. And with that, I will go ahead and clear with you and let the next operator come in. Kilo Delta 9, daylight saving time will be clear.
Oh, roger that. And what was the name there?
Oh, roger that. And what was the name there?
Oh, the name here is Pat. Papa Alpha Tango. Roger.
Roger, Pat. And whereabouts you located, sir?
Roger, Pat. And whereabouts you located, sir?
Okay, I'm in a little village called Ashmore, Illinois. It is 8 miles east of Charleston, Illinois, which is about 60 south of Champaign, Illinois.
Roger that. And what radio are you running today, Pat?
Roger that. And what radio are you running today, Pat?
I'm running an ICOM 7300. I've got a Palstar AT2KD tuner, and I've got a Mercury Lux amplifier, and my power supply is an Astron 50 amp power supply, and I've got all that shoved out the window into a horse fence antenna up about 35 or 40 feet.
Roger that. Now, how much power is that PA doing?
Roger that. Now, how much power is that PA doing?
1,200 watts right now.
Yes, sir. Sounded mighty good. And clean. Very, very clean, Roger.
Yes, sir. Sounded mighty good. And clean. Very, very clean, Roger.
Hey, thank you very much for that report. I worked on the ALC and the compression last night, and according to some YouTube videos, I've got it set perfectly.
Yes, sir. It looks like your dynamic range is about 3 dB, which is what we recommend to, as far as transmit signal, normally without any processing, a signal would be 10 dB dynamic range. But for us on sideband and on ham radio, we need something condensed a little bit more to make it fatter. So 3 dB is about it. If you get past 3 dB, it starts to blur, and so you got to have some life in there. But we found that 3 dB is about the perfect amount. So you're right there, Roger.
dB is about the perfect amount. So you're right there, Roger.
Okay, well, thank you for that information. I wasn't quite aware of all that. I've had my ticket for 10 years, and I'm finding out I know nothing. I've got a whole long way to go. I hope I've got enough life left to make it that far.
Yes, right. You and I both, buddy. The other thing is to be sure that your radio, your transmitter's in that wide transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900 TBW is called wide. 100 to 2900 gives your transmitter the best possibilities for articulation in the upper side, the higher frequencies in the audio realm, and then gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. 100 to 2900.
Before you're into somebody else's conversation. 100 to 2900.
Okay, I have the TBW set it wide, but you're talking about something else when you talk about 100 to 2900, are you not?
No, that's the TBW that we recommend, 100 to 2900, called wide. I think you're there.
And 100 to 2900, called wide. I think you're there.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Yes, sir, Pat. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Again, we'll have this uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So if you do a search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search, that'll bring up this recording. Roger?
That'll bring up this recording. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I will definitely check that out tomorrow. Well, thanks a lot for being there. I really appreciate it. And unfortunately, my voice is kind of raspy. I had a trach put in about 12 years ago, and they damaged my voice box when they put it in there. And there's not much I can do about it. I just have a real raspy voice.
Roger, sounds fine here. I'm a voice specialist, so to speak, but I couldn't detect any unusual raspiness. It sounds really good and defined to me.
Sounds really good and defined to me.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and once again, I appreciate the contact. And 73, and thanks for what you're doing. KD9DST. I'll be on the side here, running up and down the band.
Roger, Pat. 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
K9VKV. Jim from Kilo Delta 9 Victor Victor. Finally got the amp tuned in.
Victor Victor station, Roger, Roger. Yes, that sounds a lot better now, Roger, Roger.
The Victor station, Roger, Roger. Yes, that sounds a lot better now, Roger, Roger.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I don't work HF very often. I'm mostly a UHF, VHF guy, so 6-meter tune down to
2 radios here running the ICOM 7300, and now we're driving an ACOM amplifier, about 700 watts, and a 6-band vertical. That's the setup here. And we definitely always run transmit bandwidth wide, unless we're trying to bust the pile up, which is kind of rare for me, Jim. I don't do much contesting anymore. I've been licensed since around 1980. So I don't do much contesting, but if I hear a rare one, I'm trying to bust them, I'll drop it down to 100 to maybe 24, 2500. A little more punch. It might hear me a little better. But the second receiver is an RSP-DX, Jim. It's an RSP-DX, and it's a dedicated receive-only antenna. It's an end-fed 5-band wire, end-fed 5-band. The receiving antenna actually hears better than my vertical, so this depends on conditions. So your signal report, when you're coming in direct off my transmit antenna, my 6-band vertical, about an S7, and on the little SDR, the RSP-DX, with the wire antenna, about an S8, so very good. And I think I wrote your call sign down wrong, so you might want to give it to me. I think I wrote it down as Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Tango Golf, but I know that's wrong. Anyway, back to you from King David 9 Victor Victor, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Roger Pete, call is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. And that last transmission, I've got a spectrum analyzer tied to, I'm receiving you on a 7300 basically, and I've got a spectrum analyzer tied to the audio there, and so I see frequency response just very wide from probably about 65 cycles up to the top there, around 29 plus a little bit. So it really looks good and sounds good, Roger.
Oh, very good, Jim. I appreciate it. And now I got your webpage up. When I typed in the other call sign, it came up license expired. I said, I don't think he'd be on the air if his license was expired. I appreciate the report there on the audio. Yeah, the ICOMs do a good job constraining their audio there. They do a really, really good job. So, Jim, you might tell me what you're running. I think I gave you my rundown, and your audio's great. You sound fantastic. I don't have an analyzer here to give you any hard numbers. But I'll tell you, to my ear, it's like you're right here in the room. So back to you, KC9VKV, Kilo Delta 9 Victor Victor.
Roger Pete, we're running a 7300, a homebrew condenser mic into a 7300 basically, and then into a SV220 up to a resonant dipole antenna. And we do recommend dipole antennas as being particularly effective. And a lot of people don't realize, but a dipole antenna can be relatively directional, depending, because as you look at those radiation curves coming off the antenna, they come broadside to the antenna. So if one were to string their dipole broadside to the target area, they would probably increase their signal to the target area quite a bit, Roger.
No, Roger, for sure. Yeah, I just looked at your QRZ page there. Let's see here. New Albany, Indiana. I think you're south of me. Let's see if this map wants to come up. Oh boy, yeah, you're down close to Louisville. You're definitely way south of me, Jim. I'm up here in Fort Wayne, so doing a good job. Well, hopefully we stirred up some activity and more people will jump on in and check out their radios there. Again, I don't get on HF too much, but wasn't doing a whole lot this afternoon, Jim, so just kind of scanning around. usually in the morning. You can find me on meteor scatter, 6 meter or 2 meter FT8. I like to play around with that a little bit too. So Jill, I'll send it back to you. I'll just listen for a while and hopefully you get some more chickens there. Go back, what's your call? You may want to give me that website too. I'll give that a listen tomorrow as well. KC9 Victor Kilo Victor from King David 9 Victoria Victoria.
9 Hotel Uniform.
Right, standby hotel uniform, just clearing with the station. Pete, well, listen, it's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. Will take you to this recording. So it's KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3200, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger.
Oh, Roger. Hey, Jim, real quick, by the way, let the other station get in. What's my signal report with the amplifier on?
I don't, I'm loaded so easily RF-wise in the front end of my receiver that my S meter is not functioning, will not function at that level, but I do have a VU meter tied to the audio output, so and it's adjusted, calibrated for 0 level on your voice, and when you stop speaking, then it's the resonant noise, the residual noise comes through, and it looks like you're about 8 over my local noise level. Roger?
Oh, Roger. Okay, thank you, Jim. Yeah, you're a solid 10 over, very little QSC at this short range, obviously. Thank you, Jim. Let the other station get in. 7-3s all around, and good afternoon to everybody from Fort Wayne, Indiana. King David 9 Victor Victor. We'll be clear and just listening.
Roger, Peace, 73, sir. Have a good afternoon. And now that other station. This is KC9VKV. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
KC9VKV, this is K9HU. The name is Alex, Alpha Lima Echo X-Ray. And the QTH is Carmel, Indiana. And I was actually tweaking this a little bit, and I was just curious what it sounds like and looks like. Over.
Come back with your call sign one more time, Alex.
Sure, it's K9HU, Kilowatt 9 Hotel, United.
Roger, HU, and what radio is that you're running?
I'm running a 7610.
Sounds pretty good. You're in that wide transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900, is that a Roger?
Yes, I think I have it set right now for 100 to 2700, but yes.
Yeah, it's really important, I think, to get that 2900, because what happens at those lesser frequencies is you're rolling off the top end, and the top end is really critical for understanding words. The articulation is all up there, and when you start rolling them off into lesser frequencies, you're just losing your top end for intelligibility. So we do recommend 100 to 2900, and that gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation.
Okay, I went ahead and brought that up from 27 to 2900.
Yes, sir. Really sounds good. I tell you what, if you would like, we have a whole setup for that radio. It starts with the, obviously the TVW, the transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900. Then to the compressor, a 3 on that radio. A 3 and a 6 are the same, except a 6 gives you suck up. I mean, as far as working directly on the word, a 3 and a 6 are pretty much the same, except the 3 is very nice. It doesn't suck up trash between the words. Roger?
Roger. Okay, I just took the compression to 3. It was at 11, over.
Yes, sir. That's a little hot for compressor. So 3, good. And then to your ALC, and as you say the word audio, you become a human test generator for that with that word audio, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 2/3. Roger.
Roger. Hello. That's about it right there, and I'm running this at about 1 o'clock.
Roger, it might be just slightly low. Check her one more time.
Testing. Hello. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1 o'clock on the compression.
Yeah. Okay. So we're looking for actually 2/3, which is just to the right of halfway on the ALC meter. It's amazing how the volume difference between that slight from the halfway to the 2/3 way makes as far as the audio sound, the intensity of it, Roger.
Right, Jim. Yeah, I have it set at about 1 o'clock, just past the mid-level. Hello, test.
Yeah, that looked pretty good there. And also, you have a control in the middle of your radio. It's called, not jump, but it's called Quick, I believe, and it's right in the middle of his radio on that 7610, which takes you to drive, I think it is.
Yeah, the other station, if you're copying me, my name's Pete, Papa Echo Tango Echo. I call Kilo Delta 9 Victor Victor. Yeah, the very bottom of the 7610, you have several buttons. Starting from the left, you have menu, M-scope, MP right, MP right again, auto-tune, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth button over should say, the sixth button over should say quick, the word quick. Quebec Uniform India Charlie Kilo, quick.
Okay, I got that.
All right, sir, and then punch up quick should take you to drive. And what do you have for drive?
Yeah, this is not looking right. I've had some problems with the radio.
Try again, please.
Give me an idea what I should be seeing. My eyesight's not that good.
Well, if you hit quick, it takes you to drive, and I think it comes set at 50% on drive, and we suggest moving that up to 65%.
Okay, how about this? I brought up the drive.
Yeah, so you found it and you got it up to 65?
Yes.
Roger. And your voice level, sometimes you're loud and sometimes you're not. You maybe need to be more consistent about your audio level. We suggest that you leave that ALC meter out to be looking at it, and the sweet spot is at the 2/3 point on that meter, and so we suggest that maybe you get something to do as you're talking to your friends and neighbors across the world. And so if you just kind of look at that meter as you're talking, it will kind of prompt you to keep your voice up or down, or you can make adjustments on your mic level, whatever's most comfortable, to keep that meter in the sweet spot on the ALC meter as best you can. Roger?
Roger. Let's see here. Hello, test 1, 2, 3. This is K9HU. K9HU. How does that sound?
Yes, sir. That's good. And keep that voice up into that sweet spot, and it just sounds like $1 million right there, Roger.
Roger. Okay. Thanks a lot, Jim. I appreciate it, and the Victor Victor station as well.
Roger. Thank you, sir. And Alex, you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And if you want to hear your radio, why don't you give me a little bit more audio that now that we're getting a good signal on you. Tell me about the best thing you like about your radio.
Okay, the best thing I like about my radio is it's not tube type anymore. Let's see, what else? I have an amplifier that's the solid state Italian amp. And I am running a 4-element beam at 47 meters right now. And also testing 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. How's that?
Oh, excellent. Just excellent, sir. And I think you'll enjoy your recording. So, like I say, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3200, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger. And what was was that 31? It was the cut number?
I'm sorry, repeat.
What was the cut number again, please?
Oh, it's just go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that will take you to this recording, and it'll be right there, cut number 1, just when it goes to that search on YouTube. Roger?
Roger. Sounds great. Thanks a lot, Jim. I appreciate it. This is K9HU.
Roger, sir. 73 there, Alex, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and gosh, join us next Friday if you get a chance. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Check out. Give me a shout. Alpha Zulu.
Alpha Zulu station, come back and give me your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Come back and give me your call sign slowly, phonetically.
I'm November 9, Lima Alpha Zulu. I'm up here in Michigan.
Lima Alpha Zulu, what's the name there?
Lima Alpha Zulu, what's the name there?
The name is Mike.
Roger, Mike, and again, what's your location?
Roger, Mike, and again, what's your location?
St. Joe, Michigan.
Roger, Mike, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Mike, and what radio are you running today, sir?
This is a Flex 5000 Alpha.
Hey, roger that. And if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, it starts with you making sure that you're in that the transmit bandwidth TBW 100 to 2900. That will enable that transmitter of yours to reach its highest pinnacle of possibilities. Roger?
Reach its highest pinnacle of possibilities. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I'm just kind of looking for a quick little audio report. It's pretty well set where it's going to be, and I just wondering if you could just give me a little audio feedback. That's all.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm copying you on my Kentucky SDR receiver. Looks like you're about 12 over my noise level. Or 12 over their noise level, so it's a pretty good signal. I haven't checked my local antenna, but if you would tell me a little bit about your antenna system, I've got multiple receiver capability here, and I'd like to try to copy you on my local radio. So tell me about your antenna system for about 10 to 15 seconds, and let me try my local antenna, Roger.
For about 10 to 15 seconds, let me try my local antenna, Roger.
Okay, Roger. Balancing up at the feed point. And the coax is either half-inch superflex hardline or LMR 250, I guess it is, or LMR 200. So the amplifier is an ICOM 2KL, which is a 1980s vintage. Amplifier is an ICOM 2KL, which is a 1980s vintage solid-state amplifier. It's a little bit temperamental, and the microphone is an RE. Okay, well, I am a net control operator on the 20-meter maritime net, and I do kind of have the audio sort of sculpted towards clarity, and I just hope that there's good clarity and it's easy to understand and without too much of a bottom end. Clarity and it's easy to understand and without too much of a bottom end. I just like to keep it nice and clear. That's my goal. Over.
Roger, well, that's what you got there, buddy. It really sounds good. I wouldn't change a thing. That's the only thing I would check would be my audio level into my ALC. I might punch that up just a little bit. We usually recommend 2/3 on the ALC, which will give you a 3 dB dynamic range, which is pretty fat without any distortion. Though it's very clean, but it's fat at 2/3 on the ALC meter. And I understand that you do not have quite the ALC meter that we do, but you probably know how to adjust that to reciprocate and find those levels. Right now, you're probably about 4 or 5 dB dynamic range, and we usually look for about a 3, a little fatter. Roger?
Dynamic range, and we usually look for about a 3, a little fatter. Roger?
Okay, well, the other thing is that the amplifier is a little bit temperamental, so get a little bit too much energy into the amplifier, it turns itself off. So I think I'm sitting right on the edge, and that's the one adjustment I generally do make. If the amp starts to trip, I'll back the mic gain down just a tiny bit, and then it kind of rests out a little bit. Okay, well, hey, thanks for your time, and I appreciate you kind of being there. I just kind of happened to cross 40 meters here. So I appreciate it, Jim, and no need to post it, but I just thought I'd get your 2 cents there. And thanks for the report. You also sound great here. I'm listening at 2.9, and it also sounds very well balanced. So you have a nice station there. So 73, have fun, and we'll catch you next time. And 9LAZ in St. Joe, Michigan.
Roger, Roger. Well, just also think about this, though, if you will. I guess that power amp is fused for overload and the transient overload. And the thing that we do by getting that signal up to a 3 dB dynamic range is that there's not a lot of transient hotspots. It's pretty compressed, limited off. When you hit the 3 dB mark, it's pretty limited, so it doesn't have a lot of transients that punch through that 3 dB range. So you might be, and then turn your RF down or something, but that might minimize some of your problems on overload. Roger?
Might minimize some of your problems on overload. Roger?
Okay, very good. Understood. I'll take a look at that. I'll have to get the scope out and look close. Okay, thank you very much. Have fun. And 9LAZ.
Roger, Roger, Mike, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and we'll hopefully see you next Friday, if possible. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Yeah, this is Whiskey America.
As a Whiskey America station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Whiskey America station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Yes, Whiskey Alpha 7. Whiskey Kilo Yankee.
Whiskey Kilo Yankee, Roger, Roger. What's the name there?
Whiskey Kilo Yankee, Roger, Roger. What's the name there?
Name is Barry, Bravo Alpha, Radio, Yankee, and I just wanted to check to see how I was doing. I may not be running a good signal power. I haven't checked lately, but anyway, wondered if my audio sounded okay to you.
All right, Barry, what's your location, sir?
All right, Barry, what's your location, sir?
I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio.
And what radio are you running, sir?
And what radio are you running, sir?
I'm stand by, but let me peek up the amplifier. Can you hang on a second?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. From now until 5, recording and assisting folks, helping them get their transmitter as best we can for it to be up to its maximum capabilities. And we're talking to Barry up around Cincinnati.
Yes, and we're talking to Barry up around Cincinnati.
Yeah, this is Barry, WA7WKY. I didn't have the amplifier on before. Name is Barry, and I'm in Cincinnati.
Oh, boy, sounds nice. What radio is it you're running?
Oh, boy, sounds nice. What radio is it you're running?
I'm using a TS480, and the amplifier is a 811 HD with the 4572Bs Ameritron.
Roger. Now, I've got you gangbusters on my local Kentucky SDI, which is also located up around Cincinnati, but I would like to try you on my local antenna. So if you would, why don't you give me about 10 seconds about your antenna system, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
And let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger. Okay, it's not a loaded dipole, only on the 80-meter leg, so it's up about 25 feet, and it's multi-band, several elements on it for multi-band antenna, but not a trap dipole by and large. Go ahead.
Okay, Barry, I've got you on my local antenna. Boy, you're just beautiful there on my local antenna. You're probably about 20 over, nice and quiet. I'm looking at your audio on a spectrum analyzer. It looks like you have, very good response down towards the bottom end. Not a bunch of bottom end, but pleasant and a good top end. So I think you're in pretty good shape. Your dynamic range looks to be about 3 dB. Why don't you tell me about the best thing you like about your radio, Roger, and I'll get a good recording.
Yeah, okay. I like the TS-480 because it's originally, it's small. It's a 2-unit rig where the control head is separate from the main transceiver. I bought it originally when I lived in a trailer for a few months years ago, and I bought this I bought it about 10 years ago, I guess. But it's been good for me, and it does the WARC bands. And normally I was using the Heat Kit twins, the SB401 and 303, but it didn't have the WARC bands on it. So that's the story there.
Roger, is that an older radio or newer radio?
Stand by 1 second.
This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. We are in the air recording from now until 5. Right now I got Barry up around the Cincinnati area.
I'm sorry, I had an interruption of a phone call there. No, the TS-480 I think is still being produced. It's been a very popular transceiver. Go ahead.
Roger, the reason I ask is to be sure that you're in that wide TVW 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Gives you the maximum capabilities of that transmitter as far as articulation. Wide transmit bandwidth 100 to 2900. The newer radios have that. The older radios are sometimes are locked to lesser, like 27, 25, 24, something like that. But the newer ones, go up to 29. Roger.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't checked. This may be a 2700 one. I'm not sure. I'd have to pull up the menu and look.
Yes, sir. Well, just maybe take a note and check out what you have there for TVW selection. A lot of them have 3 selections, and we do say that the best one is that 100 to 2900. It gives you the best top end without causing problems. I mean, other transmitters can go up to 3 or even 4, but they don't make a lot of friends on the air. So that 100 to 2900 gives you all that it can be, and then gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation.
Yeah, this goes to 2.4, 2400. This one. So this is an older radio.
Wow, it really sounds good, though. It really sounds good. So what it is you have controlled the bottom end to balance the top end. The whole thing on an equalizer is a strike a balance between the treble to the mid-range and the bass to the mid-range. And even though you're running a 24 on the top, you've managed to roll off the bottom to balance, and it really sounds good that way. Roger?
Okay, thanks very much. I appreciate the comments, and I'm glad I'm sounding okay. I was a little worried. Somebody had said that I had RF on my audio. I don't know. That doesn't seem reasonable to me. But anyway, I made sure I was well grounded all the way around, and I'm not over driving or anything like that. So, what was your name?
Name here is Jim, Juliet India Mike. The call is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. We're up around Louisville, on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. And if I have a personal test to see what my situation is as far as getting RF in the AF, and that is I usually am running at least 10 dB below my maximum capability in my RF, my mic gain. So if I can turn my mic gain up 10 dB above my normal level and things don't take off like a big bird, I consider myself pretty isolated as far as having problems with RF in the AF, you know, because RF in the AF usually results by, you know, running a power amp, and then audio gain will affect that. And if you can go 10 dB above your normal audio gain and still not have RF in the AF, you're looking pretty good, Roger.
Yeah, okay. I'm monitoring ALC, and I'm peaking ALC right. I'm not going over ALC. My mic gain is set normally where I normally set it, so it's evidently okay where it is.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you can go plus 10 over your normal level and things still stay cool, then you're in good shape as far as not being even close to getting RF in your AF, Roger.
Okay, let me do that. Okay, I've jacked the audio up a little bit. Does that sound poor there?
Just perfect. Just you're off mic a little bit, but you're still at zero level. I have a VU meter tied to my audio out, along with my spectrum analyzer and stuff, and you were still the same level, a little hollow because you were off mic a little bit, but no signs of RF in the AF, Roger.
Okay, well that's good to know. I appreciate that. I'm going to be centered on my microphone right now. Well, I appreciate that, Jim. All the information you've given me, I do appreciate it very much. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir, and you should enjoy your recording. If you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. Will take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow.
Okay, Jim, I'll look for that. I'll look for that. KC9VKV.com, right?
No, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search.
Oh, on the YouTube search. Okay, I got it. YouTube, I got you there. Okay, very good. Well, I'll do that tomorrow, Jim, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Barry, 73 up that way, sir. Good signal. Good to hear you. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you want to get a chance, check in with us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
This is Kilo Charlie 2, Quebec Charlie.
Two stations, same level. Live station. Try it again, please.
QSO call Kilo Charlie 2, Mexico radio. Kilo Echo 8, Papa Quebec Charlie.
Station with Mexico and the call sign. Come back slowly with the call sign phonetically, please.
Yeah, QSO, sorry about that. Call sign is Kilo Charlie 2, Mexico radio Whiskey. QSO.
I'll tell you what, Mexico Kilo station, why don't you tell me about your antenna system real quick for about 10 seconds? Let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Yeah, QSO, I'm in vertical.
Yeah, QSO. Vertical antenna. Polarized, so vertical antenna.
I've got somebody there. I'm not sure really who it is. That one that has a vertical antenna. Come back slowly with your call sign phonetically, please. Vertical antenna. Come back slowly with your call sign phonetically, please.
Yeah, QSO call sign again is Kilo Charlie 2, Mexico Romeo Whiskey.
Mexico Romeo Whiskey, Roger. What's the name?
Mexico Romeo Whiskey, Roger, what's the name? Name is Dave, Delta Alpha Victor Echo, and the QTH is Rineyville, Kentucky.
Roger, Dave, and what radio are you running, sir?
Roger, Dave, and what radio are you running, sir? I'm on a ICOM 705, and I have an amplifier on it, so I'm putting out 100 watts.
At 705, what's the normal output for a 705?
At 705, what's the normal output for a 705?
It's a QRP radio, so the most it puts out if you plug it in is 10 watts, but I have an amplifier on it, so I'm putting out 100.
All right, Dave, gosh, I'm on my Kentucky SDR receiver. I'd like to try to get you over on my local antenna. We're up around Louisville, Kentucky. Why don't you tell me about the best thing you like about that radio for about 10 seconds, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Yeah, QSO.
And just like the Spectrum scope, pretty much a solid, good all-round radio, and it's portable when you do QRP type of stuff.
Roger, I do have you on my local antenna. You're probably about 7 over my local noise level. We're running a 7300 up to a resonant-tuned dipole antenna. And I'm looking at your audio in the spectrum analyzer. It looks really good and pretty intelligible. I'm just wondering, does that have an ALC meter on it?
Yes, it does. Do you want me to turn the mic?
Yes, it does. Do you want me to turn the mic gain down a bit?
No, I was thinking about going the other way. You know, there's a thing about QRP that sometimes you have to push the book. You know, I mean, there's a way to tune a radio nicely, perfectly, and all that stuff. And then sometimes you just have to, increase the mic level to get on down the road a little bit further in a QRP situation, or 100 watt situation that it isn't the absolute best that we can be. But I was just curious if you could come up on that mic level, and we'd see if things hold together on it, Roger.
That mic level, and we'd see if things hold together on it, Roger.
Yeah, QSO, how's that sounding? That's at about 75% mic gain. I'm kind of going over the ALC at times.
Yeah, I think your audio level did come up, or at least your dynamic range got fatter, and that's either one, your signal does sound better, I think, at that level, Roger.
Your signal does sound better, I think, at that level, Roger.
Yeah, QSO. Appreciate it. PH is Louisville, Kentucky, right?
Yeah, well, actually in Indiana. We're just across the river from Louisville, on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Roger.
On the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Roger.
Yeah, QSO, very good. Yeah, so we got some good old ground propagation over here.
All right, Dave, you might have hit your VFO. We're at 7188. 7188, Roger.
We're at 7188. 7188, Roger.
Yeah, QSO just fixed it. The cat's up here on the bench with me, and he must have just rubbed up against the VFO.
Roger that. So how much does that radio put out normally? Did you say 10 watts, 5 watts?
How much does that radio put out normally? Did you say 10 watts, 5 watts?
Yeah, usually it's 10 watts it puts out. On battery power, it's just 5. And I have one of those Exegu amplifiers for it, so that puts me at right around 100 watts right now with FWR I have on this vertical right now. I'm putting out about 85, 90 watts.
Roger. Do you happen to have a horizontal antenna around there?
Roger. Do you happen to have a horizontal antenna around there?
I do not. I would like to get just a nice basic dipole and toss it up in a tree. That would probably be the best bet for 40 meters.
Yes, sir, Dave. I suggest a resonant tuned dipole antenna, so, get in the middle of 40 meters and bring that resonant dipole antenna to resonance on the middle frequency of 40 meters. And then what I do on tuning a dipole antenna is I assign I'm not using a transformer, so one side of the dipole is hot and the other side is my ground side, and so I tune frequency on the high side and SWR on the ground side, and I keep going back and forth, bringing it on frequency on the high side, and then adjusting for minimum SWR on the ground side, and you can work those down to no SWR on the center frequency. So then you don't have to use a antenna tuner, right? You can go fire to the wire, Roger.
To use a antenna tuner, right? You can go fire to the wire, Roger.
Yeah, so that sounds pretty simple. I have to one of those up. Years ago, I used to have a dipole set up at my parents' house. I set up quite a good sized dipole, and I think I had about 20, 30 feet.
Or so. I'm on, here in Rineyville, I'm on about an acre and a half, and there's woods in the back,
Roger, Dave. Now I've been going back and forth between my local antenna and my Kentucky SDR antenna. You're kind of fading between those two. I have a chevron on the right-hand side of the screen that reflects where my audio is coming from, and it shows when I switch. I've got a 6-position rotary selector that I can select between 5 internet SDR receivers, plus my local receiver is the number 6 input. So I can run through all those in just a short and get the best receiver, and that's what I've been doing. And so far, it's been my local antenna running a 7300, and it oscillates between that and my local Kentucky SDR receiver. Roger.
Yeah, QSO sounds like a pretty cool setup.
All right, well, gosh, I kind of run out both of them right now, Dave. So if you want to hear that radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that'll take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
To this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Yeah, QSO KC9 logbook, that's what you said it is, right?
Didn't copy all the way, but the call sign is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search. Roger.
Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search. Roger.
QSO got you down. Sounds good. All right, we're going to let you guys get back to the net here. And thanks for coming back to me. And 73, you guys have yourself a good weekend. Kilo Charlie 2, Mexico Radio Whiskey.
Roger, Roger. 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. Join us next Friday if you get a chance. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
8 Victoria, QRP.
QRP station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
QRP station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Okay, Jim, good afternoon to you. My call sign is Kilowatt, Germany, number 8, Victoria. King George 8 Victor, QTH near Detroit, running a brand new Hermes light. Just took it out of the box and put it together. Don't know anything about it really, and wonder what it sounds like in your opinion. Using the speaker or the microphone in the computer right now just to play with it a little bit. My name is Robin, Romeo, Oscar, Bravo, India, November. Go ahead, from KG8V Detroit, go.
Roger, Robin, and what was the nomenclature on that radio you're running right now?
Robin, and what was the nomenclature on that radio you're running right now?
It's an SDR radio, and I'm operating it from the computer with a mouse, so sorry that I'm a little slow here. Hermes Light using Thetis software. Go ahead.
Hermes, Roger. I was just curious there. So what kind of power output are you running right at the moment?
What kind of power output are you running right at the moment?
Well, my watt meter says about 5.7 watts on voice peaks. The antenna is about 104-foot long doublet at about 65 feet. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, I'm copying you on my PA-SDR. I am copying you on my PA-SDR, and you look to be about 7 over there. So you're doing a pretty good job. I don't think I have you on my local antenna, but why don't you give me again a little more information on your antenna, and give me about 10 seconds of about your antenna, and I'll look around and see if I can find a better path. Roger.
And I'll look around and see if I can find a better path. Roger.
Absolutely. Victoria. Is a doublet that I made up, about 104 feet long, 65 feet off the ground, fed with homebrew 600 ohm, to a 1-to-1 current balance, and then into the shack on coax to an HF auto tuner. Hope you had enough time there, Jim. You're about 10 over here on the Hermes Light from KG8V Detroit. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger there, Robin. I've got you on again, still my PA-SDR. You're about 10 clicks over their noise level, so it sounds pretty good there. I just wonder, does that thing have a transmit bandwidth, a TBW adjustment on it?
A transmit bandwidth, a TBW adjustment on it?
Jim, this thing has everything. It's Thetis software. It comes out of the box adjusted for about 100 hertz on the low end and 3,000 on the high end. Let me just make sure that I've got that engaged. It's got an 8-band, I think it's an 8-band equalizer, and I think it's all set flat right now, and I just click that engage too. Mic gain, compressor, it's got everything. You can do anything with it if I could figure it out. Go ahead.
Roger, I'm just thinking you could use a little more top end. If it, if it's got a third octave equalizer, they go, 1 kc, 2 kc, 4 kc, 8 kc, like that. The ideal push frequency is 2.7 kc. That's the ideal push frequency for treble push. So it usually is a combination of 2 kc and 4 kc to get that 2.7. So if you have that that equalizer in line, I would go plus 6 on my 4 kc and plus 2 on my 2 kc. Roger.
2 on my 2 kc. Roger.
Okay, I just changed the EQ to 2700 and pushed it up 6 dB. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. That gives you a little more intelligibility. Now, so what I was saying was 6 clicks push at 4 kc and 2 clicks push at 2 kc. That's what you got, Roger?
Push at 2 kc. That's what you got, Roger?
Negative. I just adjusted the 2 points. I've made the 2,000 hertz EQ to 2,700 and raised it 5 or 6. You want me to turn the EQ back to 2,000 and then raise the 400 and the 2,000? Go ahead.
Oh, no. Keep it just like that. That's nice and intelligible. That's great there, Roger.
Like that. That's nice and intelligible. That's great there, Roger.
Okay, great. That's just the microphone in the computer. I don't plan on leaving it this way, Jim. I'll put a better microphone on it or a different microphone at this point. I mean, everything is software operated right now with a mouse, and I don't leave it this way. It'll be on a foot switch. I'll use a different microphone. But if this sounds good right now, that's super with me. I appreciate it. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, sir. Sounds beautiful. I think you'll really like your recording there, sir. We'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So just go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that'll take you right to this recording, Roger.
Followed by the word logbook, and that'll take you right to this recording, Roger.
Well, that's great. Is the mic gain too high or the compression too high, either one of those, or is it all okay now? Go ahead.
Oh, I like it just like that. It's clean, there's no distortion, and it's pretty loud, Roger.
There's no distortion, and it's pretty loud, Roger.
Super. Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate your time and your advice, and thank you so much for doing it today. From Kilowatt Golf 8, Victor, Detroit. Clear with you. Have a great weekend, Jim. Thanks.
Roger, Robin, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
This is Kilo Charlie 2, Zulu Delta Charlie.
Zulu Delta Charlie, Roger. What's the name there?
Zulu Delta Charlie, Roger. What's the name there?
Okay, yes, doing a radio check. I just set up the 40 meter and 80 meter for Nevis, and I am in Albany County of New York State, and I was just hoping I was getting out. Obviously I did. Whereabouts is your location? Over.
We're down around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River right at Louisville. But I have a lot of internet SDR receivers, and I'm copying you about 20 over on my PA SDR, Roger.
Copying you about 20 over on my PA SDR, Roger.
Roger. Thank you very much. Now I'm just hoping I can get out of our valley and do a mortar shot up and down and drop down for a set tomorrow. I got to get a hold of the bunker for the state SET. So I'm glad to see 70 meters, 40 meter is doing good, and I'm going to let you carry on. Thank you very much. This is Kilo Charlie 2, Zulu Delta Charlie. Over.
Roger, Zulu Delta Charlie. What's the name there?
Roger, Zulu Delta Charlie. What's the name there?
Handle here is Jack. Juliet, Apple, Charlie, Kilo. Over.
Roger, Jack. And what radio were you running today?
Roger, Jack. And what radio were you running today?
I am running a ICOM 7300, 7300. Over.
Roger, Jack. Yeah, I love that radio. That's what you're listening to right now. This is a 7300. Going through Heathkit SB220 to a resonant-tuned dipole antenna, Roger.
To a resonant-tuned dipole antenna, Roger.
Okay, Roger. Yeah, I do all of my antennas are home. Tuned to the frequency, so I change them as I am playing on different bands. But what I'm using now is a combination 80-40 that has one dipole or one coax going to it, and it's about 12 feet off the ground, because I only need to go about 20 miles, but it's an up and down. So Nevis is going to hopefully be what I need to work today. Over.
Roger, like I say, I'm copying you on my PA SDR, and you're about 12 dB over their noise level, Roger.
About dB over the noise level, roger.
Roger, roger. Well, thank you very, very much. I'm going to get out and do a little bit of work before the sun starts to drop down too much more. And thank you for picking me up, and you have a great day down there. Over.
Roger, roger, Jack. And if you want to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
You to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, roger.
Okay, roger, roger. That's pretty awesome. I thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anytime. So 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, also join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Listening on my local antenna now, my Indiana and Kentucky antenna. Anybody in that area, give me a shout if you've got a radio you want to check out.
Whiskey 4, Echo Alpha.
Check out.
Whiskey 4, Echo Alpha Hotel.
Whiskey 4 station, I've got you, you're, kind of low, but if you would tell me about your antenna system for about 10 seconds or 15, I'll look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
15, I'll look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Long, said you're a 9 to 1. At the far point. Peak of it. And I'm working 7.
I'm on my local antenna. It's kind of coming and going, though. What's the name there?
Name here is John.
Was that John?
Roger, roger.
Okay, and give me your call sign slowly, phonetically. I got Whiskey 4 Alpha Hotel. What's that letter before Alpha Hotel? Got it. Echo Alpha Hotel. Is that a Roger? Okay, if you'd be interested in a setup procedure, do you copy me fairly well? All right, on our setup procedure, first thing is to be sure that you're in that wide transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900, wide TBW. Roger?
Yeah, I don't even know that that's adjustable on this Daiju G90.
Oh boy, here we go. Somebody tuning up on an active frequency. Not nice to tune up on an active frequency. Is that an older radio, John, or a newer radio?
It's a Chinese radio.
Roger, roger. Well, let me just run through a few things that you might check, if you make note and check them at a later date there. We do recommend that wide TBW, 100 to 2900, so that's the first thing to check. We also recommend on the compressor processor a 3. Just a token amount of compression processing, a 3, and then move to your ALC. And as you say the word audio, don't push it, just say it like you would say any other word in a QSO. Adjust your mic gain control until your ALC meter is running 2/3. 2/3 on your ALC meter as you say the magic word audio, and adjust your mic gain until you reach 2/3 on your ALC meter. Roger?
Roger.
I saw you come up just a little bit there, so I think you might have been low, so let me hear you now.
try there for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's sounding a lot better. It's about twice the signal strength as what you were there. So it's sounding really good, Roger.
Very good. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I kind of lost you just then on my local antenna, but I went to my Kentucky SDR receiver, and I've got a little bit of a copy on you there. So good to talk at you. And again, what was the name?
Talk at you. And again, what was the name?
This radio to its backup status, but it's also good to get some time on it and try to figure things out.
Roger, John. I figure most of my life I'm trying to figure things out. What radio is that you're running?
It is a Xiegu
Roger, John. And what's your location, sir?
I am southern Middle Tennessee in a county called Giles.
Roger, Tennessee. All right, sir. If you want to hear your and what power output are you running right now?
This is 17 watts,
17 watts, 17 watts. Is that a Roger?
Roger.
Yes, sir. Well, if you want to hear that radio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That'll take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger.
Roger. Thank you much for your service. You have a good one, and I hope to catch you another Friday when my 991 Alpha is back. W4EAH.
Roger, John, 73 up that way. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend, and join us next Friday if you get a chance. And right now, we've got to get out of here. We've had a good time this afternoon. If you have participated and would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that'll take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So with all that being said, this is KC9VKV returning the frequency back to normal amateur radio use. KC9VKV clear.
Kilo Delta 2, Delta Mike Romeo.
Delta 2 station, come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Hey Jim, Kilo Delta 2, Delta Mike Romeo, and I wanted to test the 260-some foot loop. So test the 260-some foot loop. So here's 40 meters in your eye, over.
Yes, sir. I just went to my Kentucky SDR antenna. You look to be about 10 over. I had a copy on you earlier, Roger.
10 over. I had a copy on you earlier, Roger.
I just fired up, but we have worked before. Kilo Delta 2, Delta Mike Romeo. I'm just interested. I want to hear it on the old YouTuber there, over.
Roger. Well, I'm on my Kentucky SDR. You're 7 clicks above their noise level. Why don't you tell me again slowly about your antenna system for about 15 seconds, and let me run my receive capabilities and see if I can find a hotter location, Roger.
Capabilities and see if I can find a hotter location, Roger.
Roger, probably on the Mississippi River, say 7,300 Mississippi River in Illinois, west side there. It's got a SB1000 as the ALADB back up, SB220 sound, and it's ladder fed 260 foot loop, 250, 260 foot folded, twisted 80 meter loop. So hopefully I get a little end fire out on 40 meters. So back to you, Jim. KD 2D1.
Roger. Let me get your call sign there. K2 DMR, is that a Roger?
Call sign there. K2 DMR, is that a Roger?
Kilo Delta 2, Delta Mike Romeo.
All right, KD2 Delta Mike Romeo, Roger.
KD2 Delta Mike Romeo, Roger.
QSL, Jim.
Roger, what's the name there?
Roger, what's the name there?
Name here is Jeremy, Juliet Echo, Romeo Echo, Mike Yankee. We've been back and forth a couple of years now. I've been listening to you do this. So I always manage to catch you right before you're leaving out the door, so I won't hold you. But, yeah, good what you do. Thank you very much. And if you want to stop into NADANet down on 7185 after 5 o'clock, QSL.
Roger, Jeremy, and you're down in Tennessee, is that a Roger?
Roger, Jeremy, and you're down in Tennessee, is that a Roger?
Fulton, Illinois, Davenport, Dubuque.
Illinois, Roger, Jeremy, and what radio are you running?
Illinois, Roger, Jeremy, and what radio are you running?
7300 with an AL80B.
Sounded mighty good, Jeremy. Good luck on your net operations. 73, sir, and we'll catch you later. Maybe if you would like, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook for this recording. We'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
For this recording, we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Awesome, Jim. Thank you, sir, and all you do. KD2DMR, ciao.
Roger, Roger, Jeremy, 73, sir. We'll catch you later. So, this is KC9VKV, returning the frequency back to normal amateur radio use. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, clear.